Hello friends and family, my name is Sonia Trevino and I'm with the Houston Homes Legacy Group, and today I have the pleasure and the honor of introducing to you Mr. Mac Wolf, good friend of ours with Highland Homes, and I'm going to have him speak to you a little bit about this beautiful community.
All right, sounds like a plan. Well, welcome to Highland Homes in Sunterra in Katy, Texas. We're building a lot of product out here actually, but right now we're working on our 40-foot section. That's what you're standing in right now, is a plan called the Everly that we're building out here. What Highland is attempting to do with this project, I would say in general, is find opportunities to be in Katy, Texas, and what is highly regarded or widely regarded as one of the best ISDs in the nation and certainly in the state, and building our luxury product for our 1,600 to kind of 2,600 square foot size range, right? So that was something that really we hadn't done yet. We had been in a few other communities that are out in Katy, and obviously Katy is booming, but we hadn't done this product at this price point, which would be, like the high 300s to like the high 400s or so. So being able to kind of fill that gap that we felt like we had, this was a fantastic opportunity to, again, be in Katy ISD, but then also be in a really interesting spot from an amenity standpoint and a community standpoint of having the Crystal Lagoon, which is going to be out here in the beautiful community. The one day, or the soon-to-be beautiful Sunterra, because right now we're so early on. We're about 4 or 5 months into this community, so it's still pretty young. But
which is a great thing.
Right. There's a lot of good things about that we can talk about. But I'd say what we're then having to do is just kind of paint a picture of exactly what this community is going to eventually feel and be like. But yeah, we're doing a lot of really nice things. We're building homes from the ground up for folks. That's something that Highland kind of builds I guess it's part of our business model, is to kind of build homes for someone, for them to pick their lot and pick their plan, do the structural options that they'd like to have, and then go to design center and really control the process from start to finish. So we're still doing that. That's what we're out here to kind of offer, that experience at a better price point. And it's so far so good. It's a beautiful place to be.
And that's awesome, because it gives our clients that feel of a custom home. Even though there are pre-made plans or stuff like that, they're able to pick all their colors as far as brick, walls, different upgrades. So that's a great point that you mentioned.
Yeah.
What can you tell us about the amenities? I know this is the third community with a Crystal Lagoon. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, that's a big deal. It's the first one on the west side of Houston, right? So there's this developer, Land Tejas, has a couple communities that have already been built in Balmoral and at a place called Lago Mar that are both kind of, one's northeast, one's down south, and so we hadn't had one on the west, but at least we've had these lagoons to kind of like reference, and that has created a lot of hype for the way that this developer does their amenities. So what it is for us, it'll be a 3.5 acre luxury pool experience, essentially with a beach surround all the way around with cabanas on, kind of lining the outside of it so that you're able to rent one for the day and bring your family out. And that's part of the membership fee that is associated with your HOA dues. But that's by far the most exciting of all. But it's not really the only amenity. I mean, they're going to have an amenity center itself. They're also planning on adding more amenities over time, because this is going to be a community that we're building out for 5 or 6 years, which is another thing that makes this particular section that we're in, the opening section, so exciting, is that one, we're so close to the lagoon, we're so close to everything that is kind of exciting about the community, at least in the first phase. But also, when you're in a young community, you get to take advantage of better pricing, because the more imagination you're using as a homeowner, the lower the price point is typically for you. So there's a lot of benefits to being early, like we talked about.
Yeah, definitely. That's a really great point. Tell us a little bit about the location itself. I know you've mentioned the proximity to the actual amenities, but what about proximity as far as Grand Parkway, I-10?
Right. So one of the main draws, I would say, is of course, just where we are positioned in the city, because we have many things like Old Town Katy, which is a really charming area with like old antique type sort of experiences, and then being able to do the newer things as well. And New Town Katy, I guess is what we would call it, which is further down 99, maybe 20 minutes away overall total. and you have all brand new restaurants, shopping, an interesting kind of city center type experience. Surrounded that's then surrounded by, you know, places like Typhoon, Texas for family fun. That's kind of like a Schlitterbahn, maybe not quite as epic as Schlitterbahn because I want to give them the credit they deserve, but it's pretty cool still. And then Katy's established, and that's what I think a lot of people really desire, is just not having to worry about, hey, where am I going, or where's my grocery store? Is it 15 minutes away, or is it 50 minutes away? You know. So it's something we're getting a brand new HEB. That's awesome. Maybe like 8 to 10 minutes away. So that'll be really nice. And as we all know, HEBs are way better than everybody else. But we're on the right page.
Cool. Well, that's all great to hear. Tell us a little bit about this model in particular. The one we're standing in right now. Yeah. So this is the Everly, right? I think I don't know if I've said that yet, but it is called the Everly. It's a 4-bedroom, 3.5 bath, the way that you're seeing it. Although there's a bunch of different ways to build this plan, and that's something that's really great about what we do. Is we always have these structural options you can kind of plug and play with if you're building your own home. But the way you're seeing this one, base price right now is $462. A very nice version of this one would be, you know, $480, $490 in inventory if you were looking for something that was a little quicker move in. Or you could really go nuts like this one and be, you know, just around $500 or so. So it has kind of the different levels, different ways you can build it, of course. So there's a lot of control that the buyer would have. But I think it really just kills it from a feel perspective. When you walk in and you have these 20-foot ceilings and these windows that line the back wall, and the master bedroom still, of course, down. You actually have 2 bedrooms down in this case, and then 2 bedrooms up with a game room and a full bath. It's got double sinks. So just from a livability standpoint, it checks a lot of boxes for a lot of homeowners. And this one is definitely a crowd pleaser, I guess. Right. I think it's one of your favorite, or the best floor plans.
I mean,
Highland offers.
I love it. I just love that because I think there's a lot of plans that complement this plan well. But as far as getting you to fall in love with what it is Highland's capable of in a 40-foot product, the Everly does it the best. There's no plan that does it better than that.
I see that. Well, all that is awesome information. Location is prime. What would one of my clients have to do, Mac? What would be the next step if I get a phone call tomorrow and say, hey, I want to write one up in that community?
Right. So, I mean, there are some decisions that need to be made. So there would be some conversations we want to have about, hey, what structural options would you like to have? What lot would you like to build on? Because you can pick your lot in this case too. Or if you have a timeline need that says, hey, I really need to be in September instead of necessarily December or January, then we would have those conversations too. But really, it's a pretty simple process. For buying a home from Highland Homes in Sunterra, if we're building, it's the lot, the structural version of the plan you'd like to build, the earnest money, which is $5,000 if it's an inventory home, or if you're building, it's still $5,000. And then finally, just a pre-approval from a lender of your choice, or our lender, if you'd like to take advantage of our incentives, which happen to be $10,000 in closing costs right now. So that's another nice little bonus if you can pull that off.
Very nice.
So it's those 4 things is really what we need, and we would have some conversations to make sure we're aiming you at the right house.
Let's say that our client is from out of state. We get a lot of out of state buyers. I think with all the updates that you give us, I think it's very easily to manage. You send us pictures. I can come by, take videos. So don't be afraid to say, well, I'm going to write it up while I'm still over here. Feel free to contact us. Between Mac and myself, we'll take care of you, keep you updated throughout the whole process.
Yeah, and I think, and like you said, that's a very common experience right now. So many people are moving to Texas from out of state. So our design center is capable of doing virtual experiences. So our construction team as well, because they meet with you at the beginning of the process to go over the blueprints, right? So they want you to know, to set your expectations for the build experience. And so all of these things can be done digitally if that's how you'd like it to be, or if you're able to come into town for maybe a one-time visit, that's always a great idea too. So, we just set up an appointment and we'll be able to meet and really dive into the nitty-gritty of it all.
Sounds awesome. So I guess this is most of the information we can give you on this community. For any more information you need that maybe we could have or maybe not mentioned, feel free to reach out to us. My phone number is 281-850-1066.